Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Damo, and on today's video we've got the scruffs on again. We're going in the garage. We're going to fit an aftermarket front spoiler to the Porsche 944. Okay, before we get started on this video, don't forget, if you haven't done already, please subscribe to the channel, click the little bell icon, then you'll get notified whenever we do another video. And remember, it's not just the Porsche 944, although it's featuring rather a lot at the moment. There's also, over there, the Mark II VR6 Audi TT, the B7 Audi A4, and lots of other videos of the old cars, Subaru WRX, Lotus Evora, there's some 911 videos on there, Volvo videos as well. Yeah, so give it a subscribe. Okay, cheers. This is our aftermarket front splitter. Now, when we got the 944, you may remember, it was missing, or the part, well, yeah, we didn't have one basically, so at some point it had been taken off, probably due to maintenance, or it had broken or something. Anyway, there wasn't one on there. To buy replacements for it, they call it a lower panel. They're actually quite expensive, the original ones, and trying to find a second-hand one was just proving a little bit difficult. I was sort of arguably warned away from getting one of the aftermarket ones. This is made out of fiberglass, essentially, with a gel coat covering on it. So it's not perfect, but it is a heck of a lot cheaper than the OEM, and you do get the arguably added benefit, whether it actually makes any difference when you're driving along, who knows, of it sort of just sticking out and being a bit more of a pronounced front splitter. So it should be quite cool. It's got sort of markings here where the holes go in, where I'm hoping it's just going to screw into the existing kind of clip fittings. Right, so without further ado, let's get on. We're fortunate enough to have a pit in the garage, which is going to really help, hopefully, but we need to get both of these cars out, and we also need to get the rubbish that's in the pit out before we get going. So let's do that first. Right, there we go. The garage is clear and the pit is partially clear. It's very good having a pit, especially when you're working on cars, and if you've seen my other sort of how-to videos on the Lotus and things like that, you know that I've been in this pit quite a lot. I have a slight injury above my right eye. So, point of note, when working on cars, this was actually a car working on injury. Be careful, okay? So you've just got to watch what you're doing. I actually fell unexpectedly and banged my head and smashed my glasses, but there we go. So although they are really good, handy things to have, what you end up doing is using them to store stuff, and then when you do want to come to use them, you have to clear them all out first, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, let's get this car over this bit. Okay, so we are in the pit. You can see there's the car, and you can see there, hopefully, shine the torch on it, you've got a series of U-clips for the self-tapping screws to go in. They're a bit rusty, and actually, look there, there's one missing. There's one missing there. So, what we also invested in for the 944 was a set of U-clips, varying sizes, which is quite useful. You can see here, this is underneath the gel coat spoiler, and you can just make out slightly, they haven't put the holes in, but they do marry up, they're marked here. So we're going to drill through those, put in the U-clips where they're missing, and we've got the correct size self-tapping screws ordered online to go through here into the new U-clips, and we should be good to go. Okay, we've clipped on the new U-clips there. Now we're going to drill. Our holes. We've done some checking. There you go. You can see the mark there. We've done some checking just to make sure that the marked out holes on this front splitter do match up with the position of the holes underneath, just to check. They do, thankfully. It'd be a bit disappointing if they didn't. And yeah, it scratches a bit easy, this gel coat, but do you know what, I'm not too worried about it. It was cheap, it kind of does the job. It protects the radiator. It'll look a bit cool, so yeah, it's going to be good. So we're going to get these holes drilled, and then we can offer it up and start to screw it on. Just a word of warning on drilling holes in fiberglass, just make sure whatever screw you're using, you make the hole big enough for the screw to fit through, like that, freely. What you don't want is the screw to be screwed through the fiberglass, because you'll just end up cracking it underneath and weakening it. So make sure you've got the screw hole big enough so the screw just goes through nice and easy. You can put a washer on the other side anyway to secure it, and I'm guessing don't over tighten them because that's just going to crack the fiberglass as well. Okay, so we're in the pit. The front splitter is provisionally attached, so some of the U-clips, or specifically the one in the middle, was a bit knackered actually, sort of here, so my screw wasn't clipping onto it, so I had to replace that. And the others were all okay, so test fit all your U-clips first, offer it up, have something to support this hole splitter on either side, because what you don't want to do is screw one thing and then it flex and it kind of crack the fiberglass. So I kind of tackled it from left and right corners, or left and right sides first, and then the one in the middle. Now all I've got to do is just go around and fit up all the other screws in the U-clips. So yeah, we're kind of nearly there now, and I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. Okay, we've gone around, tightened all the screws up. You can see, don't do them too tight because this is fiberglass and you don't want this to crack. They've got nice washers on as well, just to sort of spread the load a bit to secure it. And there's enough screws in here for me to be confident that this won't fall off. These are quite controversial, it has to be said. They're fiberglass. If you were to park near a front curb and get this caught, it can rip the whole of your front of your car off, so you need to be really careful about that. Arguably I go on and on about patina and originality with this car, and this part is not original, admittedly, which is somewhat of a shame, but it's cost effective and it does the job of protecting the underneath of the car, specifically the radiator, so there wasn't anything here before. So for the money, and you can arguably get the added sort of style benefit, I quite think it's okay, and it sort of serves a purpose. This car isn't going to get used loads and loads and loads every day, so hopefully if it's looked after, it will be alright. The fit of this, a bit nervy, kind of relying on the holes that were already there to drill those through and then offer it up, but yeah, it's gone on okay. I'm pretty pleased with the fit of it. It kind of looks quite snug here because it's black, it blends in quite well. Let's get this car outside, let's have a proper look, see what the finished job looks like. There you go, outside. Pretty pleased with that. It looks quite good for the money, really. So yeah, job done. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel and write in the comments, tell us what you think. See you again soon. Cheers.